Is 7:48, and childhood cancer is something that's come in the spotlight recently, especially with Hannah's Heroes. There's another event coming up to help that fight to get funding for research for childhood cancer, and it's coming up this weekend. Here to tell us more details is James Beberfald. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you.
I mentioned Hannah's Heroes, and there was the big fundraiser for St. Baldrick's, which you emceed. Is that what kicked things off for you in terms of?
It really was, yeah. I mean, we went into that event really not knowing how it was going to come out and everything. It was under the tent at Cricket Square. We had invited, a couple of hundred people, and the whole idea was to try and bring awareness. Because there's a lot of kids, expat and Caymanian kids here in Cayman that are afflicted with some form of cancer, and whenever there's a need for them to get advice or to get treatment, they have to go to the States for it. So St. Baldrick's was evolved out of the US so that is primarily for childhood cancer research. That's the reason that was put together. 3 guys went into a pub. They said, we'll shave our heads if somebody wants to donate some money. And from there, it's raised millions and millions, which is fantastic. But for every dollar that's raised, 90 cents will go towards research or funding a grant that takes care of looking for solutions, looking for treatments for kids that are afflicted. Because
research for children's cancers is so underfunded when you compare the funding for research for other cancers.
That's right. I mean, it's less than 5% of federal government funding that goes towards treatment, that goes towards research, which is just, it's terrible. We have to do something about it. When you look at a child that gets diagnosed, a child that we found out about before the St. Baldrick's event gets diagnosed, they're losing, potentially 80 years of their life if they die before they're 1 or 2 years of age. When we see a grandparent get diagnosed, we're sympathetic, but they're only going to lose maybe 10 years of their life. So we have to do something about it. We have to somehow get government to raise more, to input more money into funding research grants, or we have to go out into the private sector like people are doing with St. Baldrick's and Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. Okay,
so this led you to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. Tell us about this foundation.
Well, it was started by a little girl who stood behind a lemonade stand. She was 4 years of age, and she decided that she wanted to raise money, not for her own pocket money, but for kids that are afflicted with cancer. So she raised a couple of $100, I think, which was great on that particular day, selling great lemonade. And to date, that foundation formed, obviously, in memory of her. She died when she was 8 years old. And to date, they've raised about $60 million. So she's kind of got her wish. She died when she was, like I said, 8 years of age. So it's carried on now, and they're doing all sorts of different events globally. They're doing events through the US where people, sell lemonade at the end of a fun run, like we're going to be doing this Sunday. So that was all because that's how it all sort of eventuated.
I can't believe a 4-year-old had that mindset to say, I'm gonna see what I can do to make a difference, and now it's come to this. So tell us about what's happening this weekend. It's the Lemon 5K Walk Run.
Yep, it's happening at Cayman Bay, right outside CNB. It's this Sunday morning, so registration is at 6:30. It's just a fun run. We've got a 5K route right through Cayman Bay, and it starts at 7 o'clock. You can see they're up on your screen. It's $25. You don't have to come and actually do the run. You could actually come and chat with people, but make at least a donation, a $25 donation, or less, or more would be good as well. And you can contact us through caymanlemonade@gmail.com. But come out and take part. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have lemonade as well.
So, of course, well, that makes sense. Now, $50 of actually funds, every $50 funds 1 hour of research, is that right?
Right. So they have all of these different grants that they fund, just like St. Baldrick's. And Vanessa, they're doing some amazing things. They really are. They're finding ways to deal with different proteins, different ways of dealing with treatments for kids, post-chemotherapy treatments and everything as well, so that a kid has an even smaller chance of ending up with some form of disability. A lot of kids lose their eyesight, and the chemo treatment is just horrific.
It is.
But the thing that really sort of struck home for myself and Danielle was the fact that there's all of these adult treatments, and chemo treatments and everything, and so what they're doing is they're watering down adult treatments to give to kids, which is totally inappropriate.
As opposed to just targeting the way that they should, right?
Something that's maybe has a less impact on them. Means that they're going to have a shorter chemo cycles to do as well, and they're going to have a better chance of not ending up with a disability later on in life, should they survive. You know, like 1 in 300 kids are diagnosed with some form of childhood cancer every year, and 1 in 5 of those kids will die. So we've got to do something about it.
All right, James, thanks so much for joining us this morning and also for taking action. It's this Sunday, 6:30 a.m. is registration, and you can meet between the E&Y building and the Sitco building. Stay with us. More Daybreak right after this.